I've adapted my presentation because lunch is coming up, and I'm really hungry. Now, and I was really glad to see Ryan and Phoenix show up because that meant that I didn't need to give a long lecture. So thank you very much. And that was great. Father and son presentation was wonderful. Let's give them another big hand. Yeah, it was good. And don't stop there. Don't just wait till your grandfather to ask you to do it and pressure you to do it. Keep at it. And it was really good. That was an excellent. People can't ignore that. It was really good. Oh, everything was good. I very much enjoyed. Sometimes I'm glad you told us to turn off our cell phones, Neville, because these days it can be a major distraction to what's going on. But I carefully listened to every presentation, and each one was so really special. In this gathering here today, I really feel the presence of God in many ways. In a family sense, right? It's really wonderful to have everyone here from Seattle, and Sandra's presentation was just, off the charts. Everything was so good. So I'm going to use the thank you slide because I'm really grateful. And I was going to present the True Family Values lecture on the blessing, but we don't need that. But that's where this is all headed for. But when I was listening to Izzy's presentation, and he was talking about that timeline, about how vast the universe is, and he talked about the issue of the fine-tuning for that to be able to happen, And I thought about that, and I look at that, and I look at these arguments against the existence of God. I think there's this kind of universal cultural insanity going on, that there's so much effort, so much intense focus, emotion, and passion putting into denying something that's so obvious as the nose on your face. Yeah. And it reminded me of the fairy tale from Hans Christian Andersen about the emperor's new clothes. Do you know that story? I'm going to read it to you briefly. Hans Christian Andersen was a Danish. He wrote, I think, The Ugly Duckling and also The Little Mermaid. And the plot is, two swindlers arrive at the capital city of an emperor who spends lavishly on clothing at the expense of state matters. Posing as weavers, they offer to supply him with magnificent clothes that are invisible to those who are stupid or incompetent. The emperor hires them, and they set up looms and go to work. A succession of officials, and then the emperor himself, visit them to check their progress. Each sees that the looms are empty, but pretends otherwise to avoid being thought a fool. Finally, the weavers report that the emperor's suit is finished. They mime dressing him. They pretend like they're dressing him because these are invisible clothes that only stupid people can't see. And he sets off in a procession before the whole city. The townsfolk uncomfortably go along with the pretense, not wanting to appear inept or stupid, until a child blurts out that the emperor is wearing nothing at all. The people then realize that everyone has been fooled. Although startled, the emperor continues the procession, walking more proudly than ever. So, it's something that the truth is something that even a child can see, but there's these pretenses that are set up, based on fallen nature that block us from understanding things. And then it goes on. I went into Wikipedia to see how do they explain this story. As an idiom, use of the story title refers to something widely accepted as true or professed as being praiseworthy due to an unwillingness of the general population to criticize it or be seen as going against popular opinion. Does that sound familiar? Like everybody's looking around and saying, what the heck is going on? This is ridiculous. This is stupid. It's unsustainable. It's evil. It's wrong. It's bad. But no one wants to say it because the situation is set up where people will be ostracized if they speak truth. But the child speaks the truth. The pure-hearted child who sees how things are speaks up and seeks the truth and does the right thing. Well, I feel like for us, in our positions, unifications, we're studying the divine principle. And it's remarkable, as we've seen today, the many diverse ways that it's being presented, When we first came in, we were struggling with all the technology, and I thought, man, when I joined, it was just a white blackboard in chalk. And it worked. I got the truth and I joined. The truth is itself is very powerful and very simple, but there's so many different ways that can be presented, and so many different ways it can come out from each individual has a different take on what the truth is. But Jesus talked about how, it's such as these. He talked about the children upon whom the kingdom of heaven is built. And I think that we are definitely in the position, no matter what generation we are, whether we're old or we're young, we have the spirit of the children of God and the spirit of the true parents. And through the divine principle, we can speak the truth and say, you're naked. And this is where the truth is. And I really know that the world is hungry for this message. It needs it so badly. It's our time because our hearts know what truth is, and people are hearing things and their hearts are empty, they're unsettled, and are unhappy. And it's through our true parents and through the divine principle and through ourselves as the descendants of the true parents that we can bring really hope into the world. So this is our moment. So finally, last week I had this dream, because I get disturbed like all of us. I don't watch the news because I just get grumpy all day long and I make my wife unhappy. But I keep telling myself, a mother doesn't complain about what's going wrong. She just does what's right. Father, the same thing. They came out of a situation that was so wrong. Refugees, persecuted, so much difficulty and struggle. But if they focused on that, this would have gone nowhere. But they transformed the whole world because they focus on God. And they don't just focus on God, they know God. So I had this dream, and in the dream in the morning I woke up, it was very clear, was this phrase that said, you have to be bursting at the seams with positivity. Those are the exact words. I don't even think like, bursting at the seams with positivity? That's asking a lot. Can I just be, less negative? But no, but this is it's what God is, is that we need to be bursting at the seams with positivity. Satan wants us to lose hope because he knows that we're the answer. So thanks so much. It's a very hopeful gathering. Thanks, Neville, for putting it together. God bless you. Enjoy your lunch.
So thank you so much. Let's give Reverend Krishnek another big hand. I'm hungry. How about you? Right? So just one final thing, those evaluation papers, please, if you haven't finished it, I need a name on it, please. And I'm going to ask Setsuko to pick them up, if you could, Setsuko. Because we have to rearrange, we have to put our tables together for our lunch. So we'll do that, shortly. Yeah, we'll figure that out. We've done it before. So I'm thinking, I'm just waiting for someone he to just come back here real quick. So, did you enjoy it? Yes. Are you glad you came from Seattle? Yes. Thank you. We're so glad you came. You really brought a lot of life. So, brothers and sisters, let's give a big hand to our brothers and sisters from Seattle. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. Okay. I'll just wait a few minutes till I see some people writing. We really want that.
Can you vote for yourself?
Stop it. IZ, when you put that down, can you come up here for 1 sec, please? So I want to, for all of us to give a big hand to all the presenters and give all of us a big hand for being here. Thank you, thank you. I want to ask Izzy, I'm putting him on the spot to ask a prayer for our food and for this workshop, if you could join us.
All right, everyone, let's bow our heads in prayer. Dear, our beloved Heavenly Parent, and true parents. We're grateful to be here, gathered together, and hearing these precious words of truth, which we know the world so badly needs. And there's really few people that you can rely on to help to spread this message to the world, and so we feel really a really great responsibility, and really pray every person today can leave inspired and empowered to share this, and we thank you for everything, for every person being here today, and please bless this food that we're going to enjoy together. Important prayer name of Isaiah and Nani Ryan, and all blessings are from here. Amen. Aju.
All right, thank you, everyone. Let's enjoy lunch together, okay? Thank you. Sandra, are you still there? Okay.
Power on.